Whatever, just blow your nose. I ain't scared. Allergies. Okay, this one's a good one. So hey guys, this is Brad with Display Fitness, and we're banging out a couple of videos, back to back to back to try to get us caught up and have some footage to hold on to. So, doing some training talks with Coach John right here, and the question we got is from Spencer. Spencer wants to know how to deal with elbow tendonitis. How would you deal with elbow tendonitis?
So usually the pain comes from an imbalance. So usually when you see with like a lot of heavy lifting or a lot of repetitive lifting, any type of squeezing motion is going to train that in a certain way. And just like anything else, you squat, you deadlift, whatever, your accessory work is going to work the opposing musculature. So if squat, you're going to work some hamstring, glutes, etc. You have to go the other way. So one of the easiest fixes I've found for people that have this issue oftentimes is work the opposing group. So if you're having pain stemming from squeezing, particularly if that flares it up, you got to strengthen opening up. So the easiest way to do that would be get a thick rubber band around your fingers and open up to work the opposing muscle group, but it's particularly through the forearm, running through the elbow. And typically that takes care of it. Another easy one, if it's something with a tendon that's flared up a little bit, that takes a little bit more to get access to compared to muscle. So with the muscle, it's relatively easy to warm up and get blood flow through it, heat, and all that good stuff. Tendon is a little bit more difficult, so you're going to need a lot more reps and a lot more volume on that. The trick is not to fatigue it before you lift, right? Because you don't want that pain during the lifting, so typically you're going to do that beforehand. Easiest way to do that is typically with a band, a light band, or some super light cable, just tricep press downs and really force some blood through that. And I'm probably talking 3 to 5 sets of 20 to anywhere up towards 30-40 reps. And you should not strain or pause or anything like that, but that should make an impact as well, especially if you combine those two things while warming up.
And then, a lot of times when you have tendonitis type issues, it can be kind of an overuse injury as well. Yeah. So the things that you're doing, you may have to look at the functions that you're performing and maybe back away from some of those things, or perhaps perform them a little bit differently. I know that, especially with powerlifters, the elbow tendonitis, elbow issues, a lot of time will stem from squatting. So having the bar on your back and then wrenching that elbow back because you lack the mobility. So just working on some overall strength or some overall shoulder and elbow mobility might help alleviate some of that tendonitis. Working with different types of bars, so instead of doing a straight bar, you may do, say, a Duffalo bar or spider bar or one of the other bars that allows you to have a different hand position. You may be able to utilize something like that. Safety squat bar might be an option as well. So you have to look at, also what makes your tendonitis flare up the most, and then kind of work around the things that are causing the problem. The body is very responsive, so if you do something and it's causing a problem, you're going to know usually pretty quickly and be able to correlate that activity to that problem. And then you just basically start, kind of trying to find ways to work around whatever's causing that problem, or find a new way to perform that function so that it doesn't cause that problem so much. Another one kind of last recommendation that I would make in terms of the tendonitis issues, like John mentioned, kind of a blood flow issue. Tendons tend to be more avascular tissue, so that they get less blood flow than, say, muscles do. One thing that may help kind of stimulate some blood flow and stimulate some healing would be like instrument-assisted soft tissue manipulation, usually referred to as like IA stim. So taking kind of like a tool, a scraper, a spoon, something like that, and just kind of gently scraping where that where you have that issue. What that does is it stimulates kind of an auto response, brings and flushes blood to that area, and that can also, you may find, bring some alleviation and some healing to that sore elbow. So anyway, I think those are some decent recommendations that you may be able to try to kind of work around some of the tendonitis issues that you may be having. Obviously, if it's a more severe issue, you may need to contact your doc and kind of go through a medical protocol with an actual physician. But those are, if something like that was bugging me here in the gym, these would probably be the first couple of things that I would try before I went to additional higher cost methods, things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for the question, Spencer. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. Remember to like, share, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. Appreciate that very much. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, train despite. You either find an excuse or you find a way. Spencer, I hope you find that way, Bubba. See ya.